I would like to invite now the Rector of the University of Belgrade, which is the coordinating institution for this REFLESS project, Professor Vladimir Bumbaširević. Professor, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Assistant Minister, Ms. Rotemond, Professor Stankovic, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is really a great pleasure to be here. Today, unfortunately, I was not on the previous meeting, but I did get informed about this project recently, I would say. And I'm using this opportunity to welcome you on behalf of the University of Belgrade to this, I would say, very important meeting organized by important and, I would say, successful Tempus project. We at the University of Belgrade have always been aware of the importance of the knowledge of foreign languages. You can see that by the fact that Faculty of Philology, which was formerly part of Faculty of Philosophy, is one of the oldest institutions of our university. But we also feel the need to cope with challenges of today, the rapid change due to globalization and the technological advances. So, as you are all aware, we are all faced with the challenge to provide access to global market on one side and opportunities that it offers, and at the same time to maintain cultural diversity and individuality. We are also very sensible to the fact that multilingualism is mainstreamed across a series of EU policy areas, including lifelong learning, employment, social inclusion, competitiveness, culture, youth and civil society, research and the media. Also, the increasing number of EU official and working languages has been one of the main issues raised by the enlargement of the European Union. And I would like to stress here that most of EU official 23 languages are being taught at the University of Belgrade, the fact that we are proud of. In order to better cope with above-mentioned challenges, we have already adopted several technical, organizational and academical measures. Having in mind the implementation of the Bologna process and its principles, in the case mainly the mobility for students and professors, as Professor Stankovic was talking about, and the exchange of experiences and knowledges, we embarked on this project of reform of language teaching, generally supported by EU Tempus project. The main goal was to analyze the institutional, academic and political framework and evaluate the level of foreign languages teaching at our universities. I must underline that we view the reform of foreign languages teaching not only as a pure academic issue, but also as a political question. Languages fulfill two functions. One is communication, important for transmission and exchange of information in the broader sense. The other is symbolic, with cultural and political traits, very important for the sense of cultural and national identity. Without going into details of language policy evaluation, we can see that within this project there are elements of academic, cultural, political, functional and budgetary nature. The main outcome for the moment is on the table, and several faculties, mainly the Faculty of Philology at the University of Belgrade, is starting a master, as we heard, of conference interpretation and translation. This complies very well with one of the main goals of foreign policy of our country, the integration into the European Union. I would like to remind you that we started the reform of our higher educational system according to the principles of Bologna process in a country which was at that time with devastated industry and economy after more than a decade of isolation and without adequate financial support. The Tempus program has been very useful for the kickoff of the reform of foreign language studies in Serbia, bringing both technical and financial support, but also, not less important, academic assistance. I'm quite aware that we have still a long way to go. We still need to work on creation and especially adoption of language policy and language education policy and development of adequate strategies. And then we have to work on harmonization of teaching in higher education, cooperation with other levels of formal education, the promotion of plurilingualism and lifelong education of language teachers through different forms, forums, centers, etc. Then we need further to develop the curricula through the development of modules for creating multimedia materials in language teaching and the use of technology, and further to work on integration of learning outcomes as assessment, ensuring the quality of teaching and assessment. But I believe strongly that the high academic standards that our university has been cultivating for a long time, and now with the assistance and aid of EU institutions, will give us optimal solutions. We are today in the position to assess which model is best suited to meet our objectives, still being aware that no solution can be considered as the best in absolute terms. So finally, once again, I would like to wish you all very successful work today and very successful meeting. Thank you.